Tonight I'm going to try out making Windows 8 display desktop notification for updates. That's kind of a mouthful. It's from January 16th, this article by Brian Burgess. And what I'm really trying to do is make updates happen a little more often, particularly definition updates. Okay, so let's get into this. Definition updates. Let me give you a look at my Windows Server 2012 Essentials box, and you'll see you got a lot of exclamation points here. For instance, the machine I'm on. Okay, basically since this morning, it's warning me there's an update available. It's a little annoying, not a big deal, and I can use Windows Update manually by something like Windows plus X and System, and then click Windows Update, and then click Check for Updates. Notice it said everything's happy until I click Check for Updates. And now it's very likely it's going to find one update, and that is just a simple antivirus signature. Okay, I'm going to cancel. But that's my use case. That's what I want to have happen. So let's move this off to the left. Let's size it so we can see the whole thing. And let's scroll down. Okay, so basically it tells us to download it, unzip it, and run it. And it's going to give us some options, including auto start at boot. Sounds good. Alright, it ships us off to this Codeplex site. And you'll see in Windows 8 Microsoft intentionally disabled the pop-ups you used to get that warned you of updates being available. So for your average end user, this may not be so great. We'll see. Okay, so I saved the file. You may want to save it in a utility folder, something like that, which is what I'm going to do. So if we open up the inside, we see there's an executable. I'm going to copy that, in my case, into my utility folder. Okay, this is where I keep stuff that doesn't really need an install. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and launch it for the first time. We get a warning. Run it anyway. Okay, so now we have a nice little tray icon. Notice it seems to be doing something already. Okay, so if I want that to always show, simple enough. Drag it here so it's always showing. That's the same as clicking Customize and finding it and saying Always Show. But a lot easier, I find. So just drag and drop it, right? Windows Update Notifier, show icon and notification. So it's always going to show. Great. Let's see what happens. We know what happens when we left click. I showed you that earlier. What happens if I right click on it? Aha. Settings. That's what I really want. Excellent. I want it to start at boot time. We can have it hide the tray icon when no updates are available. And use Metro style notification for pop-up. Fine. Now, here's what I want. I want to install Windows Update, Windows Defender updates automatically. But it looks like I have to run as administrator. So let's see what this article says. Yeah. It's a bit of a problem because at boot time, it's not going to work. Let's see what the help system says about it. Nothing. All right. Oh, it did come up. After that, the settings, install Windows can be selected. Well, maybe it is a one-shot deal. Maybe it will actually work. So let's not fight it. Let's just do what it says. So I'm going to exit the app from the tray, go back to my utility folder, and go back to my utility folder, right-click, run as administrator, say yes. And now, when we right-click and look at settings, we can turn that on. All right, so here we go. Now, every hour, this machine should check and automatically download and install Windows Defender updates. That should keep it from nagging me so darn much. So if I were to do this on all my machines, my hope over time, which I'll add to my blog post, my hope over time would be to reduce these yellow exclamations, which are 95% of the time just a simple single update hanging out waiting. And it's just clutter. It's one of the well, it's just one of those things that I'd like to reduce. So I'm kind of hoping this Windows Update Notifier will let me do that. So let's go back in, start Windows on startup, use Metro style, and every 60 minutes. That's pretty aggressive. Yeah, all right, I'll just leave it. So every 60 minutes, client machines are set to check for updates, and Windows Defender will get installed, or checked for and installed, the signatures every 60 minutes, I'm hoping is what that means. So I click OK. I see it already doing something right now. Okay, it looks like all the settings stuck. Cancel. I didn't change anything. Let's exit it again and see if they're really stuck. So if I just double click it, which is kind of essentially what's going to happen if it's auto starting at boot time, let's see if those settings stuck. Well, hard to tell because that's gray. How about if we right click and say run as administrator? And now, unfortunately, I don't see that checkbox there. Okay, let's try that again. It's not running in memory at all. I right-click and run as administrator and say yes. It's now running in the tray icon. I right-click and say settings, and the checkbox is there. So yeah, I think I'm okay. So after rebooting, this thing should auto-start, and Windows Defender should be handled. Now we see this little recycle icon. Do I really need the tray icon showing even if there are no updates available? Not really. If anything, it should just show up if something's hanging out ready to do. So go ahead and try out that option. Okay, and it hit it instantly. So even though if we go to Customize and look, that thing's just gone. All right. So those are all the key features of Windows Update Notifier I wanted to show because, again, I'm highlighting my particular need, trying to get Windows Defender to do its thing more often. If we go back to where I started this video, and that is hit Windows plus X key on Windows 8, click on System, click on Windows Update. Let's check for updates again. Probably know where I'm going with this. Nice. So it already did the virus signature update that I was hoping it would do without any clicking by me. I've rebooted. Now if I hit Windows plus E, I get the Explorer. I can go back to the D drive and show you that util folder to see if Windows Update Notifier is doing its thing after a reboot. And did the settings stick? So, how do we check? Well, we need to let this machine settle down. It's still finishing up auto-starting tray icons here. Okay, machine's beginning to settle down. Now, if we look here, we'll see nothing. We won't see the icon. So what happens if we double left click? Not as administrator, just double left click. Look at that. It comes up and the checkbox is there that we want. So I'm liking that. Another thing to consider would be if we really want to be able to find it easily, if we hit the Windows key and just start typing Windows Update, we get nothing. I hit Windows D to go back to desktop. So now that it's sitting in our util folder, we don't have it installed really, it's just an application sitting there. If we pin it to start, now it's indexed and automatically found. So now if I hit Windows key and hit Windows Update, boom, it comes up and I can just launch it from there. I've made no changes. I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to let it run in the coming weeks and see how it goes. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and please do consider subscribing to the YouTube channel to show your support.